Welcome, Eagle fans, to the Week 3 Coaches Show. I'm General Kirkendall. I'm here with head coach Stephen Fitzhugh. Looking forward to the Week 3 game against the Delhi Bears. But before we get into that, we're going to take a look back at last week's game against the General Trass Panthers. Coach, it didn't take long to get to Week 3.
I guess we've been doing football for good night last week of August, so almost 7 weeks now, I guess, when you count the jamboree and scrimmage week, and then a couple of weeks before that till we got going. So yeah, it's the end of 7 regular weeks that we've actually been going at it every day, in some form or fashion. So it goes by quick.
Yeah, it does, especially now. I mean, it's been hot out there.
Yeah. Once September hits, it flies by. I mean, we're looking at again, the last week of September is next week.
Yeah, I'm ready for the cool weather. So it is Week 3, coming off of a 49-0 win against the General Trass Panthers that came here last week, and do want to get into this game pretty quickly because I watched the game, and we scored beautiful touchdown to start the game off, and I was up there in the broadcast booth, and then I go back and I look at the numbers and a little bit of film, and Coach, that was about as flawless of a performance, top to bottom, as I've ever seen in a single football game.
It was great. I mean, Luke's passing percentage, I mean, he was on target and connected with those guys, receivers. They all caught the football. I mean, it was a clean game, no turnovers by our starters, and Jude had a big night, and it was our snaps were good, and so I saw a lot of improvement from our offense from week 1 to week 2.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, third down conversions, 3 for 3. You only got the third down, 3 times. You mentioned Luke.
Yeah, I think our offense averaged 10 yards per play.
They did 8.5 yards per carry, and over 11.5 yards per pass attempt. So that's right.
Good.
I mean,
that's a real good
pretty
night.
Good. If you can get 10 yards for every single play that you run, and of course, if you do, you're able to do things like shut out a team, 49-0. You mentioned Jude ran the ball, 13 carries for 118 yards and 3 touchdowns on the ground. So you didn't just decimate an opponent. You controlled the ball. You controlled the clock. I mean, we had time of possession. It really was just a clean game. Another thing I noticed, we did score a touchdown on every possession except for one, and you mentioned that was towards the end of the game. But every other time we scored a touchdown. But I watched some film, and I would pause it when Luke would drop back, kind of wanted to see where he was looking, and he was able to get a nice little pocket, it looked like he was standing in.
Yeah, he had a lot more time to throw. Lyman, like I said, that was a big difference this game in week 1 is he had more time to throw. The snaps were accurate to where he could catch that ball and get his eyes downfield, and so it made a big difference.
Yeah, your twin towers on the outside, John Grady and Adler, do a good job of widening that pocket out. It makes a quarterback be able to do what they're built to do. 14 of 17, 232 yards for Luke the other night, 3 touchdowns through the air, and the one I mentioned. The first touchdown to Luke Edwards. So this is 2 weeks in a row where he's hit him on a beautiful throw and catch down the field. This one was for 45 yards, but I went back and looked, and he actually threw the ball in the air about 46 total yards from where he let it go, and so just let it rip. Anyway, so Luke Edwards led all receivers, 4 catches, 77 yards, a touchdown. Maddox had 4 catches, 52 yards. Turpin had 2 catches, 2 touchdowns, 51 yards, and then we saw a nice little change of pace in the backfield when some of your rotation players came in. Joseph Post had several nice carries. And,
he did.
And had a touchdown on top of that, and so it's good to know that you have guys like that. Ridge had 2 catches. Ridge Coates, 22 yards, and of course came out of the game after that second catch. And is he day-to-day? What's going on with Ridge?
We're going to hold him out right now, let him just, regain some strength in that shoulder and stuff. But, yeah, I mean, you mentioned all those numbers. I mean, there's 4 guys that the ball got spread around to, and you can't just concentrate on just one person. I mean, so that's a lot of targets, and that's on top of having to defend the run as well. So, yeah, that's great when your offense can spread it out like that.
Yeah, it was fun to watch. I want to mention Gavin, 8 kickoffs, 4 for touchback, 7 of 7 PAT. Like I said, Coach, I mean, that really was like
it was a good night.
It's the equivalent of like a 1-0, well, not really, a 10-0 shutout in baseball or something like that. I mean, just
we were able to, it was nice to get that running clock early, I guess, after our first possession of the second half, and get that clock running, and every kid was able to get into the ball game, and so that's always a positive thing when freshmen and everybody get to get on the field on Friday night.
Yeah. So on the other side of the ball, the defensive side of the ball, the first the jamboree and the first 2 games this year, we've seen our linebackers perform well. Cooper's had good nights. Desai had a huge night in week 1, and then our D-line has done well, Waller. And each week, though, you've mentioned your secondary and your safeties. Well, this week, they showed up on the stat sheet. Cole Vullion had 12 tackles. Abram Parker, 9 tackles. Tristan Raymond had 2 interceptions. And along with Aaron Eldridge and Barrett Freeland, and I don't know who all else rotated, but I thought it was kind of their night to shine in the secondary.
Yeah, they did. And, Abram and Cole, I think they were top 2 tacklers. And, just shows that they did what they're supposed to, being on the edge when teams attack the outside, and came up and made good tackles in the passing game as well. Yeah, real pleased with them. And then for the second week in a row, they created 3 turnovers. And again, that's something we preach, that if you can get some takeaways, that's going to help your offense.
Yeah, so good clean game. I think their longest, the Panthers' longest drive was about 45 yards. And I mean, we did a good job all the way around. I really do think it was a complete and total team effort and victory. So a couple ways you can look at that, though. You can say, well, that's as good as we can perform. We don't want to take a step backwards. After that, we want to stay at that apex. Or, do you want to, how do you make this carry on week to week when you have such a good performance early in the season?
Well, that's the challenge, is to keep building on that each and every week, that you expect to go out and play a clean and crisp game, that offense continues to execute, catch the football, take care of the football once they have it in their possession, and then, again, stay with blocks, give a quarterback time, and, defensively eliminate the big plays. We only gave up 1 big play the other day, which we define that as a run of greater than 12 or a pass bigger than 16, and that was a challenge after week 1. Caldwell had 8 big plays on our defense. And so, again, after a game like that, you want to come out and go, hey, we got to do it again next week. It's don't be satisfied. We still made plenty of mistakes that we can correct. And, again, you just want to put your cleanest, crispest game together every week.
Yeah. And I don't think General Trass is a pushover. I think that they will be, it's probably similar to last year. Could possibly make a run in their playoffs, and but we really did. We operated really well last week, executed really well, and I know you talk about that. We're going to take a short break for a word from our sponsor, McDonald's, located on Highway 165 North, and then we're going to come back with a couple special guests for our senior spotlight this week. Stay tuned.
84 weeks ago, with precisely 2 likes at the Rio Sarah Pascal, posted at McDonald's. Stop pretending like you don't see our snack wrap comments. It hurts. You thought they didn't see your comments? Petitions and posts? The DMs for 9 straight years? Those comments are the reason this exists. Snack wrap is back.
Welcome to the Football Senior Spotlight. I'm your host, Allie, Harrell.
And I'm Amelia, Kliztke.
And today we're here with senior football player Cross Boyd.
Cross is a linebacker on the team, and he is number 4 for the Eagles. Cross, what did you do to prepare to be a starter for this team?
To prepare to be a starter, it was just a lot of work with my teammates in the weight room and on the field during the summer, and that's about it.
So we played Delhi tonight, and with the win, our record will be 3-0. What are some goals you have this season for your team and for yourself?
I don't really have any self goals, but for my team, I want to take state and work together as a unit.
Great. And what will it take to accomplish those goals?
Everybody working as a unit, like I said, and everybody just coming together and being on the same page.
Awesome.
And that's it.
Okay, what is your favorite moment you've had in a football game?
Favorite moment? I don't really have a favorite moment, but I don't know, just running out with the whole team right before the game. It's like really exciting, and that's probably my favorite moment.
And what are some hobbies and other sports you like to do outside of football?
I fish and I hunt. I don't really have too many other hobbies. I lift, and that's about it.
Since you're a senior this year, what are your plans to do after you graduate?
I'm going to LA Tech after I graduate and studying business.
Thank you so much for your time today, Cross, and good luck on the field.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to the OCS Football Senior Spotlight.
Go Eagles.
Back to you, Coach K.
Looking for a reason to try the new $5 meal deal at McDonald's? Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the price makes 5. That's everything you get with the new $5 meal deal at McDonald's.
Welcome back to the Weekly Coaches Show here with head coach Stephen Fitzhugh, and want to thank Amelia and Allie for their interview this week with senior linebacker Cross Boyd, and now Coach and I are going to talk about the upcoming game. When you face an opponent like General Trass, and I guess our upcoming opponent Delhi, you really want to make sure that you're competing against the version of you from yesterday. You're not competing against, you want to beat the opponent, but like you said,
Right.
You're really focusing on doing your job, being where you're supposed to be, and things like that. So
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, Delhi, their quarterback is very elusive, has a great arm on him, and some receivers that they target and can make big plays, and they're big up front. I mean, they got guys that go both ways, and so their offensive defensive line, they are some big guys, and so. Again, that's going to be a challenge for us, both sides of the ball, to go out and just, again, execute and let's get better.
Yeah, their head coach is Tim Puckett. It's his first year as the head coach at Delhi. Last week, they beat Delhi Charter 21-12.
Well, that is actually a misprint because they, that's what all the media outlets were showing and saying. But after watching film, Delhi Charter was taking a knee at the end of the ball game, and so Delhi Charter actually won that game,
Okay.
21-12.
Well, it's a close game either way.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. I was surprised to see that they beat Delhi Charter, but I'm not really surprised to see that it's a close game. You mentioned the quarterback. His name's Devin Miles. I remember him from last year, and some of the kids told me about a receiver that they have that's pretty good, number 0, Jatavius Hester. Mm-hmm. They got a couple running backs, but like you said, they're gonna spread you out. Is that what they're gonna try to do?
Yeah, they are, and a kick returner that's extremely dangerous. That number 4, and he has 3 touchdowns on kick returns already this year.
Phew.
So he's a dangerous weapon for them as well.
All right. Well, we played Delhi last year. We won 52-6, Coach, and I remember that game because their first play
Touchdown.
was a 49-yard touchdown. Yeah, I mean, it just peeled the top off, and I think we were up 7-0 at this point, if I remember right. But they scored on their first play. Again, 49 yards. But 2 things I want to ask about that. The first thing I want to ask is, do you expect to see this team put it in the air like that, try to throw it over the top a good bit?
Yes. I mean, they from what we've seen on film, they're about 50-50 run pass, and that does not depend on the down and distance. I mean, there's 1st and 10, 2nd and 2. They're liable to run. They're liable to pass. And again, the Miles, he had a good game versus us last year, and again, he's off to a good start this year, and they do like to throw it around.
Yeah, and extend plays too, as off-script things when he rolls out, there may be some confusion and roll back around, and he may throw it downfield. But so after that 49-yard touchdown last year, though, they finished the game with 55 total yards on offense. And so we kind of got after him, figured it out. Hey, let's not let him beat us deep again, and we held them at bay from that point forward. So it should be a good test, for your defense. A little bit of a different look. I don't know if we've had people who were really trying to throw it down the field a whole lot, but maybe we'll get to see that on Friday night as we host the Delhi Bears. It's a home game, third game of the year. We've had, the 85 team came, and then it was little cheer camp and senior night, and looks like you're checking off all the formality stuff.
This week's going to be elementary night, so we will have all Eagles on the field, and that'll be a neat deal. We did that last year, and just to see all the Eagles from kindergarten all the way through senior year, and they can see who shares the same numbers at the different age levels and stuff like that. And so that was a real neat deal last year.
Yeah, it is a really cool thing. And what's interesting and what's really neat is how many of our kids that are seniors this year and juniors this year and sophomores this year that have been going to school here since they were in kindergarten, pre-kindergarten, and I got several of them in class. And so if you want to know where we recruit our players from, come out Friday night and watch halftime, and they'll be out there on the field.
That's right. They're already wearing the green and gold.
That's right. All right, Coach. Well, that's really all I have. Look forward to the game against the Bears on Friday. We'll get to our senior spotlight, and 7 o'clock we'll take on Delhi Bears. Try to move to 3-0. And then we'll start district play next week for homecoming. Is that right?
Yep. Madison Jaguars next week.
All right, Coach. Well, again, I appreciate your time. Appreciate all the listeners. Again, want to thank McDonald's for sponsoring our weekly coaches show. And the 2-0 Eagles will host the Delhi Bears. I don't know if they're 1-1 or 0-2. 0-2. Okay. So they're 0-2, and hopefully that trend will continue on Friday night. Thank you for listening. Go Eagles.